try and shock him. Actually, I'm just gonna. It should shock him anyway. Oh yeah. By the way, that was a. So just remember, that is a tier 4 boss, level 30, with 30% extra health. Okay. So this is like a juiced version of Spark, yeah? Call it Lightning Spark, I think. I feel like to most people Pulse would make more sense, but maybe I'm wrong. These stairs as well, it does... This is just so easy to use. It's nice. Idea. Just do this. The idea behind this came from the rune that I got for this one, which is very, very cool, very strong. But I wanted to do a battle mage because a few people asked me about doing one. And when I got this staff, I saw it was lightning infused as a standard. Same as the Reaper build has the plague. But the main thing I got here was charged bolt. Now, charged bolt only drops on a legendary wand, and that legendary wand is terrible, so you don't really want to use that. But because I got this as a separate drop from the Echo Knight chest, I think it is. It's a really rare rune. I thought I'm going to do a build on it and see what it's like. So this is the ability here. And it's really, really good. It's really strong. But the idea was, what I'd do is make a melee mage, right? So he's quite tanky, he's got quick move speed. This speeds up a lot when you get the overall speed proc. Yeah, speeds up big time when you get that. And once you get that, the idea was going to be do a cast, follow it up, do some melees, get a bit more focus back, do another one, keep moving, right? And obviously it's a lot faster in the gameplay than this because I get all the effects working. But obviously with the current mechanic we get in there, with the focus cost reduced and the focus back on kill, you can just keep doing this. Spamming it, but obviously way quicker than that. Infinitely, which is amazing. So that's where the idea came from with it. Super fun. And the other ways that it works obviously are kind of different to the other mage that I did, but the main thing has been move speed. So I've got the damage to large enemies because I think it needs that. It just deletes anything that's not a boss. So just let's get this boss damage up, right? So I've got 2 there to get it to 44%, which is massive, goes to 88%. Crit chance on this is, I think it goes to 88%. So this is the difference here with mages. You get 40% base crit chance, right? So you get 1 on the weapon and 1 on the helmet, because you really want this to hit again, but I only got 1 on the crit chance on both, so I only get, what's that, 24 on both, so 48% there, plus the 40%, 88% crit chance, right? Which means I can put crit damage into 1, 2, 3. Massive crit damage boost. I know you've probably noticed this already. I don't have max gems in the gloves and in the pants. So this isn't even final form, right? Which is a lot because that's another, what, 5% move speed at least? 20% of 30... sorry, not 5%. Another 10% boost on top of that. So a bit more move speed, a bit more crit damage, a bit more armor pen, more shock, more healing. You know, it's still not fully maxed out, right? And this needs boosting with the armor actually. It's level 12, so I need to do that. But that's the main stuff really. The reason I put move speed in is because I didn't. So let's take these pants off to show you. I was a bit faster than this, right? But I noticed sometimes against the Echo Hours on the second phase, you know, it's kind of hard to reposition. When you've got this move speed procced, you can reposition and cast a lot better, and it's really important because it's quite a slow move, as you can see. Like, it doesn't shoot out like a dart, but if you can move and reposition it, it feels like you're using any other spell in some ways. You're just sort of choosing where it starts from. So you almost feel like a walking totem that can melee. It's really cool. It's a nice mix. But it allows you to feel like a melee character even though you're casting, because you're not stood there constantly firing at range. You're doing one cast, then you're back to melee mode again. If you want to do that. Another cast, back to melee mode. Another cast, melee mode. Or you could do a few in a row. If there's a big enemy, then keep going. So this is amazing for speed farming for that reason, because you can keep on the move all the time. And you don't really have to aim. You're just constantly on the move, using your spark, constantly on the move, super speed. And the speed isn't a gimmick with this. This is really, really good for this build. What it means is I can have the medium dodge roll. I don't need to dodge roll that often with this because of the speed. So I've got plate armor on the chest, plate helmet, leather pants, mesh gloves, so pretty heavy. 51% physical resist, which is about to go up right now when I upgrade this. But like I said, the move speed, if you don't get the move speed straight away, that's fine. But I would recommend getting it as soon as you can. Now, let's just go over the gear real quick. So I'll hover over the gear to show you. Yeah, I'm still 51% physical. Oh, but anyway. So the move speed I've got double move speed here. Okay. Move speed on the pants. Move speed on the enchantment with the facet. But then the gem also gives it 80% boost, which should be double, right? So straight away, I'm going to get 34% with a maxed out gem. And another 10% move speed, so that's, what, 44%. That's a lot of move speed right there. That's why my base move speed is so quick here. Even with heavy range. Like, I'm quick. Couple that with the fact that I get 28% move speed bonus on top of that. So that's 72% move speed when a rune attack just lands. Right? Then add the fact I get 30%. You know, now we're getting to scary numbers. Now I'm at 102% move speed. So, with everything procced, 102% move speed. Couple of things to note. This move is a bit broken at the moment, in good and bad ways. So when you cast it, sometimes you will hit things and it won't class as a fatality. So what does that mean? It doesn't class it as a rune attack. It means sometimes you'll cast it, you won't get the focus back, and the cost reduced won't proc. What I found, that's one of the reasons I got move speed. You need to be really close, and you need to be stood still. Like for about a second after casting it for it to count. But you get used to it, you get used to how to use it. And in the Crucible you don't have any issues, it's just out in the open world, out here where you might... Sometimes, if you're around about this focus, you might drop below and start going into melee mode again, which is fine. What I would recommend is if you want to be like, your Giga like boosted all the time, always be around this focus, so just charge up, use some health, and you'll maintain it really well. Got a really high focus. Now that's why I've got so much focus here. 405 with the ring on. Until they patch this rune, make it work more consistent, I would recommend having 400 focus, just so you got that safety bank against bosses. Because it is a bit buggy, but I also think sometimes when I drop and lose it all, I'm kind of like, oh nice, I just get to use the melee for a bit now. You soon get it back, it's no problem. I've also put Lightning Assault on, which you can see at the bottom there, which is a rune that comes on a battle axe. So So what you got to think about staffs is staffs can get staff runes, wand runes, two-handed weapon runes. Okay? And a lot of the two-handed weapon runes are actually melee runes. So like the lightning assault here. A lot of the other sword, hammer, and axe runes can all go on staffs. So you can actually mix in here with lightning assault. So that is really good. Now I don't know if I properly hovered over the items actually, but yeah, so the stats to kind of go over pretty similar to the Fire Mage, like I said. Damage large enemies, crit chance. You want the focus here, then you want the focus reduced, crit chance, and barrier on food. Then you want barrier again here to go with that, so you got a bit of a barrier. That should be enough for your barrier, what you need with those two. And a bit of lightning damage, but the main thing is the overall speed. And then you want the max health stuff, right? Because it's really strong right now. You don't have to do max health. This would work with the max focus if you wanted to just do a stamina version. But you would have to bear in mind that you'd have to build that back quite quickly, obviously. But I think the best one would be the max health. You could do a max health version with this. Have really low health and then just get a shield, right? And then just keep your health up. Or you could just do different gems and not have these in. It's fine, but yeah, this is the best way to do it right now with the low life tech. I think Mage's low life makes sense, right? Properly go into that. Why not use it, you know? Get the best out of it. But there are other ways you can build it. But like the Reaper build, I actually changed that. I was streaming it at the weekend and I sort of adapted that because I thought, actually, that build isn't optimal with low life. It's actually optimal a different way. So with this one, I do think low life is better though. Boosted healing, shock build up. Because you want to proc that shock, right? So it's very good to do. And armor penetration. You probably want that on at least 2. I would say get on at least 2. So here I've got 34. Times that by 2. 68%. So pretty good. Then, like I said, the move speed is the only other thing. So 3 crit damage. 2 crit chance. With the base 40%. Try and get to 85% plus. I'm 88% crit chance. With 25 plus by, let's say 60, so that's 85. Let's that would be another 40, so 125. That would be another 46. We're looking about 170% bonus, so technically 270% damage I've got when I've got all black pearls with 88% crit chance. Very strong. Very, very strong. Yeah. You can see from the Pestilence boss kill just deletes them and and the Echo Knight. I don't think I've deleted him that quick with any build that I've done. Now a lot of the builds I've done, I don't actually optimize them purely just to kill the Echo Knight. I do them so they're good at killing ads, like all phases of the game. They've got, you know, like the Assassin builder did, so it's fast, so you can play in different ways. You could just make that a boss killing version. And you could just fully go into boss damage and rune damage and stuff like that, right? Same with this, you could improve this. Or boss killing capability, but I think the way this is set up is really good for just general play. So, Rune Ring, yes it does reduce your basic attacks, but that's a big boost with the rune damage. This gives you a bank of safety with the focus, and then Lifesteal Ring. That is very good, obviously. The max life stuff. Yeah. These stats, you don't have to stick to these, but focus, you want to be at least 350, I think. Then, yeah, get into the heavy range, get tanky, get the move speed, and it will play super fun. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one. It's very different to every other build, really. A lot of similar aspects in the gear, but the way it plays is very different, and that's the key thing to me. Just trying to find key play styles that are different. And yeah, I've really enjoyed this one. Gonna be playing it a lot more, and yeah. Got some other cool build ideas that I'm going to be working on, so yeah, stay tuned for those. I'll be back soon with another build video.